Peace, love, and balance, everybody. Peace, love, and balance, y'all. It's your girl Isha, the goddess of wisdom, also known as goddess on the rise, the copper queen, the flower hoodie queen, bringing this sacred energy exchange to y'all. Happy Sunday, y'all. It's Domingo Day. I just really woke up from a nap and I'm still feeling sleepy, but I just didn't want to sleep anymore. I've been sleeping all day and I was like, I want to go ahead and just get up for a little bit, okay, and do a message for today, okay, y'all. So look, y'all, named this live today, Daughter of Lilith, because I am going to get into that topic today. I got some new information. Yes, I do got some new information. Y'all know how I do. I've been chanting a lot lately. What the universal shifts that we're going through right now has been activating. So if anybody been feeling pressure in their head or headaches and all that, or maybe feeling constant dehydration or hunger, you always hungry and stuff, you need to like eat healthy when you're doing this. Like I took all my vitamins today. I drank plenty of water. I've been drinking plenty of water. I've been drinking my teas. I just went grocery shopping yesterday. So I've been eating healthy as I always do. But this is the time I feel like these are essential symptoms we're going through right now. And that means you need to start feeding your body the things that it needs to stay healthy while it's ascending and changing, because your body is going through an inner transformation. So that means you be getting new purified blood and veins and hair follicles and just brain cells and so much stuff, you know what I'm saying? So take care of yourself during those times. If you need to get a reading by me because you feel lost in some way, or just in that hangman energy and you just don't know which way to go, definitely I'm still doing the 50% off for the summer solstice. And email me at sacredenergyexchange222 at gmail.com. All right. Y'all also know if y'all need spiritual tools from me, y'all can go to goddessonarise.life. That's goddessonarise.life if y'all would like to get any spiritual tools from me that y'all will need to stay cleansed, purified, to do your spiritual work, uh, all of that. And I've been doing it. I just did a ritual today. Okay. I tell people it's a daily practice for me. I mean, I do rituals all the time. I really do. Even just waking up is a ritual. I tell people you have a rising ritual, right? So I wake up, do a reading on myself, have me a cup of tea. I may journal, you know what I'm saying? And figure out my day, right? Figure out my day. So I want to show y'all a few books that's going to help me discuss some of the stuff that I'm going to discuss. Okay? Thank y'all so much for the heart. Okay. So these three books, the reason why I'm showing y'all this because it's definitely heavily relating to what we're about to talk about today. So book one, The Secret Relation Between Blacks and Jews. There's book one. It's called The Jewish Role in the Enslavement of the African. All right. Then we have number two, The Secret Relation Between Blacks and Jews. It has How Jews Gain Control of the Black American Economy. Okay. And then it has the third one, the secret relation between blacks and Jews. And this one says the Leo Frank case, the lynching of a guilty man. Okay. So this is the topic that Spirit led me to discuss today. Okay. So if this is not a topic that you feel like you should be listening in on, check off now. Okay. Because it's about to get deep. Okay. I did take some notes. Like y'all know I always take notes and I'm going to read from them. Okay. I'm going to read for some notes. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, starting off, I want to talk about the Christian Black Codes of March 17, 24. I have a live on here that you can find if you type it in. It's called Christian Black Codes as well versus witchcraft or something like that, that you can go and I give a lot more information on some things. Okay. But I want to go back to that again and say some things that's in the Christian Black Codes of March 1724. So in this Christian Black Codes, the first one in Article 1 says decrees the expulsion of the Jews from the colony. So Article 1 was talking about the removal of the Jews from their colony. Okay. Now we know that's been the same thing, colonization, right? Okay, colonization and genocide. That's just something that has always been done. Y'all, it's some kind of net in here. I don't know how I got in here. All right, but bear with me. All right, then we got Article 2. It has make it imperative on masters to impart religious instructions to their slaves. So Article 2 was make it imperative on masters to impart religious instructions to their slaves. So as a Jews, this is where Jews got enslaved. And remember, this is the Christian Black Code. So I'm about to speak on that. So they were enslaved and enforced to practice another religion from the master's instructions. Okay, that's what they're saying. Article 3 permits the exercise of the Roman Catholic creed only. Every other mode of worship is prohibited. Let's ring the bell. So look, it has right here. It permits the exercise of Roman Catholic creed only. So you can only practice the Roman Catholic Church religious practice, and any other mode of worship was prohibited. So this is why I tell people that the blacks were the Jews. Okay. So when they talk about different stuff like being enslaved by them and all that stuff, that was after colonization. Okay. And identity theft, what you can go to prison for doing today, as it's considered a felony crime. Identity theft. So identity theft happened to us because once we were enslaved and forced to practice their religion, we no longer had an identity in their name, in their mind. Okay. So getting into this, some more into this information, it says right here, Jewish sources offer several accounts of the origins of witchcraft. According to the book of Enoch, witchcraft was first taught by the fallen angels to their mortal wives. You hear that? So, and this is why the book of Enoch was excluded from the Christian Bible, because they couldn't let us read that stuff. Why they prohibited us practicing other spiritual practices, right? So they had to remove it from the Bible. Remember, they put the Bible together. That book was not put together by slaves. It was put together by enslavers. So it has right here. This presumably explains the special association between women and witchcraft. So witchcraft has naturally been a practice in the Jewish community. Okay? It has naturally been a practice in the Jewish community. Okay? And the husbands knew that. This is back then, prior to colonization. Okay? It has right here. In the Bible, the formal biblical attitude toward witches and wizards is severe. The practice of witchcraft being a capital offense, both men and women are portrayed as engaging in witchcraft circles between socially empowered sorcerers, witches, and wizards throughout Babylon and Egypt. Queen Jezebel herself is a witch. So, to my Bible readers, if you actually really read that Bible, and it's such a big Bible, it's so broad, it speaks about how men and women both practice witchcraft with each other, and both were demonized in the Bible, and all throughout Babylon and Egypt. And Queen Jezebel herself is a witch. And growing up, y'all, because I was so different and I was always questioning these type of Bible verses that came up, I was called a Jezebel by some of my relatives. Now, back then, she's known to be a whore, just like Mary Magdalene, an evil woman. So getting called Jezebel, I really feel like they was trying to curse me and just consider me a bad person. But Jezebel was a powerful queen herself that got demonized. She was with her husband. That's what y'all need to know the whole story. It's a whole story about Jezebel. We just listened to what they said, because when we were taught their religion, half of us didn't even understand how to read English and speak it yet, too. That's another thing. Remember, we were forced to forget our languages back then. So they was teaching us from a level of what they would call illiterateness. We didn't even understand how to read what they was teaching us and indoctrinating us with, so we couldn't question anything because we didn't even know how to translate it. The Bible didn't get translated into English until later. Okay? And as you know, English is the most hardest speaking language in the world. And we mastered it because it was the only language we've been able to speak all this time. Okay? So it has right here. It is clear in the Bible and ancient Near Eastern texts that men were sorcerers, yet Exodus 22:17 seems to single out women in its command. You shall not permit a witch to live. So this is true. Even though there were males that were wizards, warlocks, sorcerers themselves, women still predominantly got punished the most. Okay? And that is because, based off the Christian black codes, the rise of the Roman Catholic Church was a patriarchy move and a matriarchy destruction move. Okay? It was purposely set up to bring the woman down. That is why King James himself still practices witchcraft, and he was a powerful warlock himself, and he's written books about it. He was still practicing witchcraft, so they didn't care if a man was getting more powerful. A woman could no longer be powerful. And if the man wasn't on their side, he could get killed as well. If he tried to defend the woman, the wise woman, if he was trying to protect her from other patriarchal practicing men, he got killed or jailed or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So men were forced to get on board or get killed or get incarcerated or whatever the punishment would have been for protecting a wise woman, for protecting a spiritual woman. And a lot of them jumped on board because they feared death and the punishments of protecting their woman. Those are what I would like to call cowards. And some of them are the descendants of these cowards today. And that's no disrespect, that's just facts. Okay? They didn't want to protect the woman. They didn't want to protect the woman. Or they just stopped choosing to. Okay? So it has right here. I really want to get into this. It's not going to be a super long live, y'all. This is the main message I wanted to get out. So it has right here. In the medieval text, it's called Aleph Bet Ben Sira. The first woman, Lilith, transforms herself into a demon witch by the power of using the tetragrammaton. It's called tetragrammaton. This is spelled Tetragrammton. This word is a Hebrew name. And I think I've explained to y'all that my name, that I changed my name to, is a Hebrew name as well. It's a Hebrew and a Hindu name. It has Hebrew and Hindu origins, okay? And it's even in the Bible, they speak about Ish and Isha and Ishtar. You see what I'm saying? That's a very powerful name. And I'm happy I have, I have it. This term translates into God. It translates into a God term with 4 letters. It got God's translated in 4 letters. So it means God. It got as WHWH, YHWH or JHVH, and those are articulated as Yahweh and Jehovah. So this term that she used the power of, Yahweh and Jehovah to do this, which they definitely didn't want us hearing about that, because Yahweh and Jehovah are always depicted as a male, right? But why wouldn't the father help their daughters just because their information got manipulated by another people? You know what I'm saying? So it's written that she was able to use God's power, God power. That's what I would like to call that, and to shapeshift. And when she rebelled against Adam and left the Garden of Eden, and she has been powerful. And you gotta think, remember, and I feel like when she abandoned in the garden and left the Garden of Eden, and y'all remember, it said up here how the origins of witchcraft was taught by the fallen angels. Who were the fallen angels? Lucifer and all the people that got cast out of heaven with him. Samael. So she found her a new man that was a rebellion like her. Oh, yes. She found her a new man that was a rebellion like her and got casted out because they wouldn't follow typical rules and regulations and roles that was given to them. They were rebellions. That's why they got demonized. They didn't want to follow orders. They wanted to be their own gods, because you can. If you wasn't able to do that, it wouldn't have been able to be done. They just didn't want you to know that you had the power to do that and the ability to do that. They didn't like freedom of thinking. And this is a biblical country, and we're supposed to have freedom of speech and freedom of religion. But even in the Bible themselves, that Bible didn't like freedom of speech and freedom of a religious choice. So that's where we get that from too. If you want to know where they get that from, that's where. It's in their Bible. That's where. So she used the God power to transform herself into a witch, a powerful witch, which they called a demon. These are now, y'all know we were oracles, healers, shamans, all that. But that's the terms that was used to describe a woman that rebelled against the patriarchy. She must be demonic. That's why Queen Jezebel was demonized. She must be evil. Who would send such a force to come against us, right? Who would send a dark feminine that is not about to just roll over and lie down like a bitch? Like a bitch. That's what they want. They want you to roll over and lie down and obey my command like a bitch. And that's not what a witch is. She's the total opposite. The total opposite. She is a woman in total control of herself. And she's going to do what she want to do and be who she want to be and say what she want to say and feel how she want to feel. And you don't have to like it. But you're going to respect it. And if you don't, she going to get the F on. Like how she did. She bounced on Adam. She's not staying to be abused, disrespected, spoken down to, made to feel up under another person that she brought into the world on top of that. Women be dying through birth. Women have died on their period. What we got to go through just to be a woman physically. Just to actually be under this that we created. So talk about hypocrisy. Talk about hypocrisy. I want to talk about it. To me, that's hypocrisy. Because the same Bible that tells us we should not serve no other gods before them and all that stuff and worship me only and all that. Why should a woman have to worship somebody she birthed? And had to almost lose her life for, and women have been lost their life in childbirth. They lose their body. They go through postpartum depression and stuff. They can't predict what their bodies and what happens to them after they give birth. And then as soon as we start going through those things, not all the time, we're not supported or taken care of. During those times, we're deemed as crazy. Something wrong with it. Now I gotta go find another one. And then as it keeps happening with more of them, they just keep shuffling us around like cards. It's crazy. It's crazy. And now, y'all, it's stuff going around now talking about that women are too independent now. They talking about the male loneliness crisis. I think that's kind of crazy because I think they're fine. But they're talking about the male loneliness crisis now because women don't want to have children no more. Women don't want to be married no more. Women don't want to take on the traditional roles of being a wife and a mother anymore. So a lot of women are going through divorces. They're initiating more divorces now. They're not staying. And they're not actually even getting married, let alone dating towards marriage. They have completely rebelled because women are fed up. You know what I'm saying? They are. Some of them are choosing to be with women. They're choosing to be with another woman instead of even being with a man. And they're they're going to clinics, getting, getting a baby that way and raising their kids with another woman and just keeping the masculine out of it. That's crazy. They don't even want a man to father their children no more. Even they'll use his sperm, but they don't want his role in their child's life anymore. So it's a lot of that going on. And they're saying, and I don't know if y'all remember back at 2020 at first, in 2020, they were saying we was overpopulated, right? This is the crazy part. They was going and hooping and hollering about us being overpopulated. We went from being overpopulated to now we getting underpopulated that quick. In the last 5 years, they're saying the lack of women getting married and having kids is causing even with all the deaths, they saying it's a combination of all the deaths from COVID and the continued deaths from COVID from people that got, the sicknesses has still been happening. People still been dying from this virus and they just not reporting it like they used to when we was during the lockdown. So they're talking about all that's going on. And then it's something else going on too. Then okay, you remember they have, so that's why this is a part of gender wars. I want y'all to know that. So they took away, a lot of states no longer allow abortion anymore. Remember that big fight, my body, my choice. Now there's no way to get an abortion in I think it's about 15 to 20 something states or something like that. But you can't get an abortion. So it started with that. Now they have took away Planned Parenthood, I believe now. So they're trying to take away our ability to control if we give birth or not. And guess what women are doing now? Practicing celibacy. This is sad. This is karma, y'all. Yeah, we gotta look at it like what it is. This is karma. So now women rather not even have sex with a man at all, or be with a woman before they even will. You force them to have another baby by a man that they don't want to have a baby by, or marry one, or depend on one. That's the Lilith energy, y'all. If you want to know where this is coming from, that's Mama Lilith. She is coming for her children, her daughters. Y'all, this remember your last year was the year of karma, and karma is in full effect. She's coming for her daughters to rescue her children. She's activating in all of us. Eve is not our mama. Now some of y'all Eve may be. Now some of y'all Eve is y'all mama, but a lot of y'all Eve is not my mama. All right, I could tell. But that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of us, if they identify as daughters of Lilith, you're a descendant of that bloodline. That's why you're so rebellious, and you always have been. You probably used to talk back to your parents. You probably used to talk back to your husband too. If you ever had a husband or boyfriend, you will speak up for yourself, and they didn't never like that. You see what I'm saying? You're not in the patriarchy. A woman is not supposed to speak up for herself. She's supposed to stay in her place, and her place is always under the man, never above him, not even beside him. It's under him. Dang, dang, and they don't see nothing wrong with that. They don't see nothing wrong with that, even with the results of today, which is child abandonment. You know, half the men, their women are single mothers. They'll walk away from marriage and the relationships, and once they decide to walk away, they move away. I've known men to do that. They get so tired of co-parenting that they just move away and put strict long distance between the child and himself, that he has to take a trip to go see his child. So he's really in a position to, once again, neglect the child. He moved. He moved to a whole nother city or country for some of them. And a woman is not about to be trying to chase a man to force him to take care of his seed. At least, not all of them. Maybe some of them will. I don't know. But so the rise in single parents, specifically mothers, they tired of that. Women don't even want to risk it. Me personally, if I want to give my personal opinion, I ain't risking it. I'm happy to be able to take care of myself and provide for myself. I don't have to ask a man for anything. I don't have to wait for him to do anything for me. I don't have to do whatever he tells me to do, even when I don't want to do. I don't have to feel like I'm his maid, his wife, his therapist, his nanny. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm still having to raise kids, probably do 50-50, which is still have to work a job, as well. So I'm still having to pay bills, and more than likely I'm the one that's paying the actual bills. I'm having to put my money in the pots and make sure the bills is paid. Then I'm still the one making sure the phone's bill paid on time, the light bill's paid on time, the mortgage or the rent is paid on time, the car payments are paid on time. I'm still illustrating all the hard work behind keeping our home together and our lifestyle together. And then I'm still expected to have sex on the regular basis and continue to have children and just do this every day, day in and night, day in and night, day in and night, day in and night, and not have a break. And I gotta have a period every month. On top, my period every month. Let's talk about that I don't get a break from. Or God forbid I get sick and I can't do my wifely duties and I need some support. The house may fall apart, me being sick for a couple of days because he's not picking up after his stuff. He won't clean the dishes. He won't make sure the trash get taken out. He don't want to cook dinner. You know what I'm saying? That's not marriage. That's slavery. The wife seems to have more roles than the man. I don't like bringing in the celebrity stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and use this example. Do y'all see? And this, now, listen to me before I say this. This is why I tell y'all not to go back. I don't care if it's been 20 years. I don't care if it's been 30 years. I don't care if it's been 40 years. once you have moved on from somebody, it's in your highest best interest to keep that going. Backtracking in life is going to screw you up. So Ashanti got back with Nelly. She been broke up with him forever. She waited till she was in her 40s to go back to this man. He done had children, so she's had, this is her first child though. I have not seen the show, just seen some clippings that people will share on social media, and I've been seeing how Nelly said that he's not doing nothing with the child until it's time for the child to walk and talk and go to the bathroom. And see, how could she probably, he didn't tell her that before she had that baby, because had he told her that before she had that baby, she would not have married him. I know I won't. Because yes, what do you mean? Breastfeed, you ain't gonna help me because women can pump. So what if I'm just so exhausted because I've been breastfeeding every day and you need to go warm up some of my breast milk and feed the baby so I can sleep? We need to take turns. I already had to go through the 9 months of the carrying the baby and the C-section or the ripping of my vagina, and the shock of it all, of having the baby and my body changing. Now you want me to feel like I'm alone with you right in the bed with me? For how many years before you gonna start helping out? You see what I'm saying? And we never can predict what they gonna do until we actually go move forth. That's why they say when you first get married, you shouldn't have a baby for the first 5 to 6 years or more. Now I think that number is going up, and that's sad. That number is going up because he may change on you or she may change on you. I ain't gonna just put it all on men or nothing, but this is about the patriarchy and against the matriarchy. So he may change on you. He could tell you all this stuff in the beginning and flip the script on you and not do any of that stuff. Or maybe you just didn't realize y'all didn't discuss this stuff before y'all had the baby and y'all was living in the moment. That's why I'm believing in living in the moment stuff, going with the flow stuff. My Virgo A asking questions. How do you plan on supporting me and this child? What do you plan on doing during my pregnancy and after my pregnancy with this child? What are our plans for this child, matter of fact? Because having a child is a gift to the world. So what are our plans to invest in this child and raise this child in the best environment so they can live their dreams successfully? We talking about all that. Somebody told me I asked too many questions one time. I'm like, exactly why I'm not with you or going to be with you, because you feel like I asked too many questions that are needed questions before you get into marriage or let alone parenthood. It's another person that you're about to raise and about to be responsible for the next 18 freaking years. That's a long goddamn time. 18 years? And then even after 18 years, I know people right now, their kids are 30 and 40 and they still taking care of their kids. Their kids still living in the house with them. They never achieved adulthood. They don't know how to live without being with a parent or a spouse. So you may not even get that day because people don't want to just kick their kids out. Some people, like my mama did. My mama kicked my butt out at 17 and ain't never look and didn't look back. Everybody don't have the strength to kick their kids out. So they enable their kids for life. Their kids 50 and 60 and never reach adulthood. And then honestly, as a parent that never pushed their child to be adults, you didn't reach levels of adulthood either. You stayed in this one position in life and you were supposed to ascend after you raised kids and do something else, but you never got that. So you don't even know what it is because you stayed in that mother role or that father role because you didn't want to do better. You felt like that was your purpose in life, to be a parent. You didn't feel like you had a higher purpose outside of parenthood. You didn't give yourself a chance. And then some people, their kids gone and they still ain't doing nothing with their life. They don't know what to do outside of being a parent. Their kids may be estranged from them. Y'all, it's so much stuff, okay? It's so much stuff. And baby, like I just did that live about Independence Day and the 4th, and Freedom Day. Y'all can go listen to that. All this stuff is tying in together. This is the year, this is karma at its finest, baby. All this is karma. All this is karma, y'all. Karma is coming in different times, phases, and transformations. And people getting a taste of it, and it's tough. It's tough. It's some tough stuff. So y'all just stay on a high vibration. Continue focusing on yourself, tapping into your creativity, healing. You know, building, collaborating with like-minded people. You know what I'm saying? Just stay in peace and harmony. That's really all the advice I can tell you. Stay in tune with the moon. Stay in tune with Mother Earth and the universe. Okay? That's the best advice I can give y'all. Thank y'all for the people that tuned in and liked the video. Please like the video, like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Like I said, I am doing readings, 50% off. I'm closed today, but I'll resume business hours tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Nashville, Tennessee. If y'all would like to contact me to either stop by my shop or you can get a reading with me. I do virtual readings, so we can do it over the telephone or we can do it in a video chat as well. So, okay, then that's Sacred Energy Exchange 222 at gmail.com. If you'd like to book readings with me, if you would like to get stuff at my shop on my website, it is goddessontherise.life. It is goddessontherise.life, and you can also contact me to stop by my shop if you want to pick it up. Okay, I tell people you have to contact me first. It's not a pop-up shop, it's a pickup shop. I do have online on Google that you have to please her mental. It's been a while, lady. So I do have on my website that you have the appointment only, but sometimes I had one person one time show up, and thankfully, it hasn't been like that because I think people see that and they be like, oh, they call. So yes, you have to call first. That's why it says appointments only, because you need to call first. Because I could already have people here doing readings. Like last week, remember I had 6 in one day. So if you just pop up on me and I'm in the middle of some readings, I'm not opening the door. And don't keep knocking on the door either, because I'm not, and disturb me while I'm doing a reading, because you're supposed to call first. And if I don't answer the phone, then don't show up. That means I'm busy. Okay, that means I'm busy. So thank you so much for listening into this. For those of y'all that missed this live, I highly recommend y'all go back and listen in from the beginning. I didn't say too much. I just stuck to the point and the details of what this message was really about. But I'm pretty sure anybody, man or woman, can get a message from this reading. I will be doing the Cancer season reading soon. Yeah, I should have been done it by now, I feel like, but I've been channeling so much other stuff. I bet you a lot of stuff I'm talking about right now is going to end up coming out in that Cancer season reading. I'm going to do it before we switch over to Leo season, because Leo season is coming. All right, let me stop. Y'all, I love me some Leo season, baby. That's the feisty season. I'm a feline woman, so it's time to turn up. It's time to get fired up. But we're going to enjoy this water season. We're going to enjoy Cancer season. It's been a lot of people celebrating their solar returns. Happy solar return to all my Cancers. Okay, we need this water too. Stay hydrated. Go to a beach somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We need this. So I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I will come back on the live real soon. Peace, love, and balance. Copper Queen checking out.